Good day, everyone. This is Ardon, and welcome to another learning session for business communication. Today, we're going to discuss barriers to effective business communication. It's really important that we know these barriers, these hindrances that affects in the context of business communication so that we are assured that as much as possible we can minimize these or we can provide solutions on these uh, problems or barriers so that we can attain and we can maintain effective business communication in business context, not just in business but in everyday communication that we have. Let me read to you the learning targets for today's session. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the barriers to business communication. Ano ba itong mga barriers na ito na nagpo-produce ng miscommunication or hindi pagkakaintindihan sa konteksto ng business communication? Number 2 is differentiate verbal from non-verbal barriers. So as you can see, there are two general types of barriers affecting business communication, yung verbal and non-verbal. We have pretty much had general knowledge about these, but let's dig deeper and analyze the components and compositions of these two. Lastly, you will be able to construct and analyze scenarios illustrating business communication barriers. But let's have a lesson review for today with or about the lesson that we had during our face-to-face session. It was communication and business communication. We have reviewed the diagram or the model of the elements of communication. In there, as you can see here, we have the sender, of course, surrounding the sender or noises. Okay? The sender needs to encode the information so that it will go into the channel or a medium. After proceeding into the channel and to the medium, the receiver needs to decode the received message. And the receiver needs to encode the reply or the feedback, whereas the sender needs to decode the feedback so that we can have a good communication or an effective or successful communication taking place. Surrounding these are noises. Noises are either psychological, physical, or physiological. These are the hindrances that contributes or factors that contributes to miscommunication or misunderstanding. Okay? Now, since we're very clear about that, let's proceed to our main lesson, which is the barrier to effective communication. As what I have said, there are two general types of barriers in business communication. May dalawa tayong uri. Meron tayong verbal at saka non-verbal. Pag sinabi nating verbal, this has something to do with spoken communication. And when you say non-verbal, this has something to do with signals, perceptions, emotions, and those communications that do not require oral or verbal communication. Now, as you can see here, let's start with the verbal barriers. Okay, the first verbal barrier to communication or business communication is inadequate knowledge or vocabulary. Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Siyempre, dapat kung makikipag-usap ka sa konteksto ng business, kailangan meron kang sufficient knowledge doon sa topic or doon sa issue na pinag-uusapan so that you can say what you want to say. It's really hard to verbalize or to communicate kung hindi naman natin alam yung pinag-uusapan or wala tayong enough na knowledge doon sa pinag-uusapan. Kailangan din, okay, we have enough vocabulary to express. Maaaring alam mo nga or may gusto ka ngang sabihin, but for example, if the context uses English communication and hindi ka ganun ka vocal or hindi ka ganun ka proficient pagdating sa English dahil yung vocabulary mo ay very limited or insufficient, Therefore, mahihirapan ka. Magkakaroon ka ng language barrier. Okay? Kasi inadequate yung knowledge mo or yung vocabulary mo dun sa konteksto ng pinag-uusapan. Okay? That is the first one. Let me give an example about it. Inadequate knowledge would mean, for example, if you're asked to report about the update of a project in a business proposal, no, kung ano na yung natapos, for example. So, ang nangyari ay hindi ka nakatulog, okay? Hindi mo nabasa yung proposal, hindi ka nakapag-update. Therefore, inadequate yung knowledge mo. Kaya nung tinanong ka, hindi ka nakasagot. Okay? That is a verbal barrier. Okay? Same with vocabulary. Katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, kung hindi ka maalam dun sa language or if your vocabulary is very limited, therefore, mahirapan ka din. Okay? That is the first verbal barrier. Inadequate knowledge or vocabulary. Okay. If you have questions so far, feel free to message me sa ating group chat. And I'll be very happy to assist in my best of ability. Shall we continue to the second verbal barrier? The second verbal barrier is the difference in interpretation. Okay, na-experience nyo na ba yan? Yung magkaiba kayo ng pagkakaintindi or pagkaka-interpret or pagkakaunawa doon sa mensahe na ibinigay sa inyo. You had a different interpretation of what has been said. No? Sometimes, senders and receivers attribute different meanings to the same word or attribute the same meaning to different words. So, dalawa yan. Una, yung words or yung content ng pinag-uusapan, magkaiba kayo ng intindi. Okay? Ngayon naman, yung isa, ina-associate naman natin yung the same meaning kahit iba na yung pagpapakahulugan. Okay? We're attributing same meaning to different words. So, there is a difference in interpretation and in a business context. Kapag nangyayari yan, nagkakaroon ng miscommunication kasi it's either magkaiba kayo ng interpretation doon sa sinabi, okay, dun sa pinag-uusapan, o kaya naman ay kahit iba na yung tinutukoy, you still attribute the same meaning, even the word is different, or even if the meaning is different. So, that is the difference in interpretation. Another type of verbal barrier is the language difference. These includes the nuances of the same language. Ano ba yung word na nuances muna? No? I-define natin. A nuance is a subtle difference in or shading of meaning, expression, or sounds. So, ito yung maliit or ito yung pinaka-subtle lang na pagkakaiba ng dalawang lengguwahe. Kaya nagkakaroon ng miscommunication or ng barrier kasi merong subtle na pagkakaiba doon sa language differences. Kaya minsan nai-interpret natin or nami-misinterpret din tayo nung kausap natin. Okay? For instance, the English language may have different pronunciation terms and expressions. Maaaring yung expression sa English na iyon ay hawig sa Tagalog pero magkaiba ng meaning. Since ang knowledge mo, ang first mother tongue mo or ang nakasanayan mo ay Tagalog, maaring yung pagpapakahulugan ng kausap mo na gumamit ng English, no, nuances, ay iba dun sa pagpapakahulugan mo noong sinabi niya. Let's give an example. Halimbawa, yung word na baka at baka. Okay? So, in terms of pronunciation, pag sinabi mong baka, okay, or pag sinabi ng kausap mo na baka, baka ang tinutukoy niya ay animal or yung cow. Okay? Pwede rin namang pag ang pronunciation ay baka, it means maybe. Okay? So, minsan nagkakaroon ng language differences or ng verbal barrier sa language differences in terms of pronunciation, terms, and expression. Another verbal barrier is number 4, inappropriate use of expression. Okay? The use of slang, jargon, and euphemism. So, Intindihin natin isa-isa yan. There is a verbal barrier when there is an inappropriate use of slang, jargon, and euphemism. Ano muna yung slang? Yung slang, these are informal utterances, often playful or trendy words and expression used for specific social groups, especially for young people. Ano yon? A slang is informal and often generational or cultural expression. Halimbawa, in the context of Filipino, okay, ang Tagalog ng slang ay balbal, no? Imbis na sabihin mong malupit, okay, for example, you will say, pet malu. Instead, you say na ang galing ni Sarah sa pagkanta. You would say, pet malu yung galing ni Sarah sa pagkanta. That is an example of slang. Another slang would be, imbis na sabihin mong idol, pwedeng sabihin mong lodi, imbis na sabihin mong power or strength, sasabihin mo werpa. Okay? So, these are slang. Ano naman yung jargon? Yung jargon, ito naman yung mga specialized vocabulary used by people within a particular profession or group. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga technical and professional term. Anong example niyan? Ang example niyan, for example, ay BP. Saan ba ginagamit yung BP? Ito ay blood pressure. So, this is a jargon in the medical field. Another example, formative assessment. Formative assessment is a term or an example which depicts an ongoing learning evaluation and ginagamit yan ng mga teacher or ng mga professor or in the field of education. So, yun yung jargon. Okay. Next, meron din tayong tinatawag na euphemism. Okay, ano naman yung euphemism? Euphemism is a mild or indirect words used to replace blunt or harsh expression. Nagkakaroon ng euphemism kapag pinapalagaan natin yung delivery nung mabigat na salita. Okay? Imbis na sabihin mong namatay na, okay, you would say pumanaw na, for example. Imbis na sabihin mong nag-resign siya, umalis siya sa trabaho, okay, you would say nagpalamig muna siya, nagpahinga muna siya. Instead na sabihin mong mataba, sasabihin mo lang ay medyo maluwag sa katawan. Okay? Imbis na sabihin mong bagsak ka, okay, sasabihin mong mag-enroll ka na lang sa susunod. These are what you call euphemism. And the inappropriate use of expressions like slang, jargon, and euphemisms may cause misinterpretation or misunderstanding. Halimbawa, kung gumamit ka ng slang na hindi naman appropriate doon sa kausap or sa konteksto ng pinag-uusapan ninyo, ay magkakaroon talaga ng misunderstanding or ng barrier. So, that is the fourth verbal barrier, which is inappropriate use of expression. Number 5 is over-abstraction and ambiguity. Ano naman yon? Anong epekto nun? Okay, pag nag-over-generalize tayo, this may lead to communications that are not clear and that can lend themselves to misinterpretation. Halimbawa, nagbigay ka ng instruction sa colleague mo since it is in a business context. So, nagbigay ka ng gagawin, but this is overly abstracted. Ibig sabihin, masyadong general, masyadong ambiguous, masyadong general yung pagkakasabi mo, hindi mo na specify. So, maaaring yung gawa or yung maging gawa ng katrabaho na inutusan mo about that might be different, no? And it can cause a barrier to the communication. Kasi nga, yung instruction or yung communication between you and him or her are not clear, okay? Which may lead themselves to misinterpretation, okay? That is over-abstraction and ambiguity, okay? These are the 5 verbal barriers. Now, punta tayo sa non-verbal barriers. But if you have questions, feel free to ask your questions in the group chat. And I'll be very happy to assist you in my best of ability. Okay? Now, proceeding to non-verbal barriers, sabi ko nga, these are non-spoken. O ibig sabihin, hindi ito sinasalita orally. Okay? So, number 1 is inappropriate or conflicting signals. Ano to? The actions, postures, or expressions suggest something contradictory to what you say. An example would be, okay, nag-a-agree ka, but yung actions mo naman, nagpapakita otherwise. So, nag-a-agree ka, but your expression, no, your posture, or yung action mo, pinapakita mo na hindi ka naman nag-agree. Okay? That is inappropriate or conflicting signal. Okay, or signals. Number 2 is difference in perception. Okay, yung perception natin or yung pagkakaintindi natin sa mga bagay-bagay ay nakadepende sa orientation natin, sa exposure natin, sa experience natin, sa knowledge natin, at sa mga values natin. Tignan natin yung nasa picture. Okay? The figure in the picture can be interpreted 6. Pero kapag nandun ka sa kabilang side, pwede rin siyang 9. So, there might be a difference in perception kasi magkaiba sila ng tinitignan. Okay? So, these are factors that are dependent doon sa ating orientation, sa exposure natin, sa bagay na pinag-uusapan, sa experiences natin, sa knowledge and values, that we might have different perceptions of the topic. Okay? Next, we have inappropriate emotions. Okay? The display of reactions that do not match the situation that you are in or possibly even your internal state. Ayun yung example niyan is, okay, tinanong ka ng kaklase mo or ng kaibigan mo, kumusta ka? Okay, ang sabi mo, masaya ka. But yung mukha mo, it says otherwise. No? Masaya ka, pero yung tono mo, sad. Masaya ka, pero yung mukha mo, sad. Okay? For example, if your boss in the business context asks you, and sa totoo naman ay hindi mo siya or hindi ka nag-agree sa kanya, you disagree, you just said yes, pero base sa emotion mo, sa pinapakita mong emotion, sa pinapakita mong facial expression, sa reaction mo, sa tono ng pananalita mo ay hindi ka nag-agree. That is inappropriate emotion. Okay? Number 4 is environmental distraction. Okay, ano yung mga distractions? We have discussed different types of noises, physical, physiological, and psychological. So, yung environmental distractions, under yan ng physical noise o yung mga ingay sa paligid. An element that restricts one's ability to concentrate on the communication task hinders effective communication. Halimbawa, okay, nag-aaral ka or may ginagawa ka, ngayon hindi ka makapag-concentrate kasi ang ingay-ingay ng kapitbahay. Nagmamarites sila, for example. That is an example of environmental distraction. If you're reviewing, for example, okay, hindi ka ngayon makapag-review kasi umuulan, kumukulog, kumikidlat. Okay? So, hindi ka makapag-concentrate. That is an environmental distraction. Another would be you are creating or you're posting a video or you're shooting a video and then hindi ka makapag-video ngayon, for example, because hindi ka makapag-shoot kasi may nagbe-video okay sa kapitbahay or may nagiinuman sa kapitbahay. These are environmental distractions which restricts one's ability to concentrate, thereby, contributing to barriers in communication. Okay? So basically, we have discussed 5 verbal barriers and 4 non-verbal barriers in the business communication context. Shall you have any questions? Feel free to ask again sa ating group chat kung meron kayong questions, and I'll be very happy to assist you in my best of ability. Okay? Next, if you don't have any questions, I want you to have these activities. Number 1 is a skill building activity. Now, I have prepared 2 situations here. Okay, yung kwento ni si Mardil, okay, na employee sa Zero Oil Company, at si Del na nagagalit kay D. Okay, pakibasa po tong mga situations na ito, and I want you to write down the communication barrier that is being described in each scenario. Ano yung napansin ninyo base dun sa scenario na ipinamalas na barrier of communication, which is na-discuss natin kanina. Okay? Next, after that, okay, after you've analyzed the skill building activity 1, the 2 scenarios, I want you to think of ways of how to minimize the barrier. Ano yung mga tips na bibigay nyo kay si Mardil and Del na galit kay D, okay, para mas maging effective and successful yung communication, minimizing the barrier. So, it will be submitted via Google website, and that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll be very happy to assist you. This has been Sir Don, and today we have discussed the barriers to effective business communication. Thank you so much.